I'm muted. Okay. The VFin is the thing that I was mentioned that was my great idea. Thank you for telling me I was muted. Yeah, the great idea was the VFin. But yeah, for anybody that you know, can't hear, not hear, can't read. Today's stream is a G Gundam tier list. G Gundam. Yeah, you're a Gundam now. G Gundam has some absolutely amazing designs, and by amazing I mean incredibly weird. But that in a way is itself amazing. So let me So first is the GF13-17NJ Shining Gundam. This is a classic design, and many aspects of it, such as the shoulder shape, went on to help other designers, such as the Shining Gundam was one of the references given to Sid Mead for designing the Turn A Gundam. You bring, or you could bring not Chaos, but okay. Actually, no, Chaos is better. But the Shining Gundam is a classic design. It's just great in every way. And you know what? I think on this tier list, that is enough to earn that earns it an S rank. I think it deserves an S rank. And then next is going to be the Shining Gundam, the upgrade to I just said Shining Gundam again, the God Gundam, which due to concerns, when G Gundam was originally aired in Japan, that was in 1994, but it wasn't aired in the United States until 2002. In 1995, when Gundam Wing aired in the U.S., and they brought 1/100th and 1/144th scale model kits of the Gundam Death Scythe Hell to Toys R Us, they actually had to pull them from shelves because religious groups and parents got upset that it had the word hell in it. So they renamed a bunch of G Gundam mobile suits, and I'll mention all the renames when I can. But the God Gundam was renamed to the Burning Gundam, which, considering its other units in the line, were the Shining Gundam, Shading Gundam, Rising Gundam. Lumber Gundam should be an S. We'll get to Lumber Gundam when we do. But also all of its attack names that have God in them were changed, like the Erupting God Finger was changed from Erupting God Finger to Erupting Burning Finger. But it also gets an S, and I think I like it more than the Shining Gundam. Next is Neo America's mobile fighter, the Gundam Maxter. This is a very interesting one. You can see it's a boxer. It's got revolvers. It's got a football helmet. It's not shown here, but it also has a surfboard shield with thrusters on it. It's a very interesting mobile suit. It is definitely American. I'll give it that. But I think it will get A, surprisingly, but only A. And then next is Neo China's, which is the Dragon Gundam. I actually like this a surprising amount, particularly the head. I feel like it doesn't go too over the top with the Chinese aspect, unlike some others, like the Maxter. Mammoth Gundam, the Planet Eater. It is, yeah. Mammoth Gundam could easily beat Unicron. I also do have of both the Maxter and the Dragon Gundam. I have the original 1/144th model kit from 1994, which is, especially for 1994, especially the Dragon was quite a good model kit. Although it needs some work. I will actually be releasing a review video for those model kits when I can. But this one I think also gets S or A, but above Maxter. Can he beat you though? No. Next is Neo Russia's, the Bolt Gundam, which I also have the model kit of. This one is one of the only ones I can think of that has the single mouth vent. The only ones I can think of off the top of my head that have that single mouth vent is Bolt and Aerial Rebuild. Although there's one other that I know has it, but I can't think of which one it is. But yeah, the single mouth vent is definitely very uncommon. Bolt has it. You know, it was created from stealing... Oh, interestingly, the episode that Bolt Gundam aired was also the first animated appearance of the Gundam Death Scythe Hell. They used an early design version of the Gundam Death Scythe Hell for one of the mobile suits, or one of the mobile fighters that had been defeated by Neo-Russia and captured and had the technology stolen. A year before Gundam Wing, it was the first appearance of Death Scythe Hell, which is wild. It was also before the first appearance of Wing, which was also in G Gundam. Trenchcoat Gundam. It's supposed to, with both the hat and the large skirts, it's supposed to resemble a Russian soldier. That one, I think, gets above Maxter, but below Dragon in the A tier. Now, the Gundam Rose, which I need the high grade of. I do also eventually want the 1/144th scale, but I desperately want the P Bandai high grade right now. This one, like, there are a lot of aspects that I really like about it. The skirt armor is great. And then the arms are really good too. I really like those. The legs are quite good, but the head is the main part that I'm like, I don't really know. I don't really know how I quite feel about it. But I think for now, I'm going to put it in the top place in A tier. Okay, next is Neo Hong Kongs. This is the Gundam that won the 12th Gundam fight before the show happens. The Gundam Kowloon Gundam, which for some reason was changed from Kowloon Gundam to Howl Gundam. Nobel Gundam. Yep. It's both Noble Gundam and Nobel Gundam. I'll get to that when I get there. Yeah, the Kowloon Gundam, or in the English dub, the Howl Gundam of Neo Hong Kong. It's the big fat part is a bit odd, but overall I do really like the way it looks. It does its sort of aesthetic very well. I think I'll put it in B tier for now. Don't worry, these ones will get filled up eventually. Next is the Master Gundam, not Maxter, Master. The version of the Kowloon Gundam corrupted by Dark Gundam cells, which also happens to, I'll get to this again in a second, but it also happens to be very similar to his or Master Age's earlier machine, the Shuffle Heart, since he's of course the King of Hearts, the leader of the or former leader of the Shuffle Alliance. Okay, this is also a very good and classic design. That I think gets bottom of S tier. The wings also seem to have influenced the Wing Zero's wings. And then now, as it's been long awaited for, the Nobel Gundam, named after the Nobel Peace Prize, as it is from Neo Sweden. However, for some reason, when they were making a new stuff, they felt fit to rename it from Nobel Gundam, after the Nobel Peace Prize, to Noble Gundam, which I don't think has any real reason other than it sounds like Nobel. But I don't know why they didn't want to make it Nobel. But, you know, whatever. But this one I actually do really like quite a bit. Especially since the hair actually does have a purpose. You wouldn't think it possibly could, but it's actually thrusters. Well, Baroners. And you know I love high heels on mecha. I think this one's going to get S tier, but below Master Gundam. Or maybe top of A. I always call it the Sailor Moon Gundam. It was based on Sailor Moon, but just wait. I'll get to that. I'll once again touch on that in a second. Actually, put this right here. Next is the Gundam Spiegel. Actually, let's check that. Okay. Let's copy that. Let's see what Spiegel means. Mirror. Okay, so it means mirror. For some reason, when they made the Spiegel, or in the English dub, they made Spiegel Shadow Gundam. This one, really, the only way it does the German is the fact that the this sort of hat part kind of looks like a Nazi helmet, but that's really it. It doesn't lean too hard into its country's aesthetics, which is a good thing, I think. But I actually really, really like this, like, arm blade. I can, like, swing forward over to there. I also like the head quite a bit. Particularly the faceplate. The legs are pretty nice, too. So this one... Actually, let's put that there. No. Let's put that there, and he'll go right above it. Or maybe above... I think I'll actually put him above Master. Next is the John Bull Gundam, the Gundam fighter of Neo England, which was renamed to the Royal Gundam in the English dub. You can see that hat looking like a British Royal Guard, which is interesting. This design's not too bad. It's actually pretty good. Just in general, it looks like a Royal Guard. Not too much going on, honestly. There's not that much to compliment, not that much to criticize. Skirt's very interesting. I imagine that would probably take its mobility down, but, you know. Let's give this B tier. Okay, now here's where it gets interesting. So next is the Gundam Max Revolver. Now, some of you might be confused because you might be thinking, this doesn't look familiar. What is that? This was, in the manga, all the Shuffle Alliance actually got upgrades halfway through, just like the God Gundam. This is the next Neo America one. Personally, I am not a big fan of, like, Western stuff like cowboys, so I don't like how it leans so heavily into the cowboy aesthetic. But while that is just me personally, I'm the one making the tier list. That is actually, I forgot to say, disclaimer, this is just my personal opinion. I'm not saying, oh, because I said, like, I'm not saying, oh, Kowloon Gundam is just objectively bad now, you're not allowed to like it. You might put Kowloon Gundam in S tier right there. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. You're allowed to do that. I'm not saying anybody else is wrong or that I am right. I'm saying I like all of these ones more than Kowloon Gundam, and I like John Bull Gundam less than Kowloon Gundam. That's all I'm saying. This is not based on power. This is just based on how much I like them. I don't think that should be too hard to handle, but apparently for some people it is. Anyway, the Max Revolver, I personally am not the biggest fan of. The shoulder's also kind of just weird to me. So I am going to put this in C tier. That might end up getting upgraded to the bottom of B, but for now, C tier. I just opened that in a new window, didn't I? Nope, I pressed the wrong button. Oh, I copied the image link. Okay. That's good. I wanted to open a new tab. Open a new window would mean I need to close the new window. So, Gundam Versailles. I don't like this as much as Rose. Not even nearly. It's got some odd proportioning going on with the legs as well that I really do not like. I feel like it being short might have to do with the misconception that Napoleon Bonaparte was short, which he actually wasn't. But it is a very commonly held misconception. And I feel like that's probably why that's the case here. This one is going to go above or below John Bull Gundam, but above the Gundam Max Revolver. Okay, and next is the Double Dragon Gundam, the Dragon Gundam's upgrade from the manga. once again, I don't like it as much as the original. It looks like, I can't tell for certain, but it looks like it's got a triple mouth vent like the new Gundam and High New going on there. But this one honestly hasn't changed too much from the original Dragon Gundam. So I think I'm going to put it right there. Can I put... No, let's put it there for now. I'm debating whether or not to put the Nobel Gundam in the bottom of S tier. Okay, next is the Bolt Gundam Crash. The Bolt Gundam's upgrade. This one just feels kind of weird to me. Like, once again, it didn't change too much, but I just, like, it doesn't quite have the same vibe, and I don't like it quite as much. And I think I'll put it below Maxter, just barely. Definitely not in B. Like, for sure in A, but the bottom of A at the same time. Okay, and next is... So, Aki, this is why I was mentioning when you said it called it Sailor Moon Gundam. This is the Super Nobel Gundam. This one is even more based on Sailor Moon. Like, even the line art posing. This is the Sailor Moon Gundam. This was Alan B's upgraded mobile suit from the manga. The upgrade to the Nobel Gundam. I actually think I like this a little bit more than Nobel Gundam as well. Namely, I really like these thrusters and kind of want to include something similar in my own mobile suit. Like my custom gunplay design. So that gets in the bottom of A tier. Or of S tier. Also, the hair looks a little bit more reasonable for thrusters. So, Aki, what do you think of the Super Nobel Gundam? Oh, and it's also this, like, star pattern on the blues and everything. That's why, yeah. There were other proposed designs that, not like proposed designs out of universe, but like in-universe proposed designs that the in-universe characters decided that the Nobel Gundam was better than, that are based on the other characters from Sailor Moon, such as Sailor Neptune, Sailor Mars, and so on and so forth. Okay, next is the Mermaid Gundam. I think it was from Neo Denmark? Yeah, Neo Denmark for sure. It can transform into a fish so these arms just go completely into the body. The legs go up into the body except for these two fins. And this part slides, there's like a plate in there that slides over there. This is where things are going to start getting a little weird for a bit. This one is just so weird, but I kind of love it for that. Like, this is what G Gundam's about, you know? And I think I'm gonna give this B tier. Okay, Cobra Gundam. It also had like a tail piece that could be connected. This one looks a bit odd, but it was also designed by a small child, if I remember. It was either this one or Ashura Gundam, which I don't think I put in the tier list. Just because Ashura didn't stand out to me very much. First of all, it kind of looks like it's wearing lipstick, which I found to be really odd. The skirt looks like it would hamper the mobility a lot, which is sort of meant to be more like a snake, so I can see how that wouldn't really matter. This also just looks so odd to me. So this one I think is going to be in C. I might end up even pushing it down. Actually, I think I should probably put this in D. Okay, the long-awaited Lumber Gundam. This one, it's the Neo Canadas, of course. It's got these axes. This actually looks like a surprisingly reasonable design. And of course, it kind of looks like the Chad meme. Sadly, I will not be putting him in S. But it will be probably pretty high. I don't know how high. Let's see. Maybe Probably an A. Let's put it just above the Bolt Gundam. Okay, now for the Trauma Machine. The Jester Gundam. Neo-Poland, I think, maybe? I don't remember. I don't want to spoil the show, so I won't tell why this is a trauma machine, but it's a trauma machine, and this episode was kind of fucked up. It's when G Gundam starts getting, like, starts showing some more dark themes. Other than, the whole premise of most of the show, which is already kind of dark. But I actually kind of like it. It's a bit odd, but it's I'm going to put it probably a bit higher than some might expect at the top of C. Okay, the Mandala Gundam. I do not remember. Wait, Nepal. I think. I could be misremembering. This is the one where the pilot was blind, I think. This one looks really, really weird, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't like it. It can go into defense form where this part, like, these all just, like, go in there. So just, like, remove these 3 balls and just have this be sitting directly on there as the defense mode. But, like, I just... What is going on here? I don't like it at all. It's going directly at the bottom of D tier. Okay, the Rising Gundam. This was an application of the Shining Gundam's basic frame for actual military purposes, which is why it has a completely different model number. Whereas the typical model numbers of mobile fighters is GF for Gundam Fight, then the number of Gundam Fight, then the number of the country placed in the last Gundam Fight, then the code of the country, and then possibly a number such as 2 or 3 after it. So, for instance, the God Gundam, Gundam Fight 13, so GF13, in the 12th Gundam Fight, Neo Japan placed 17th, so it's 17 N or NJ for Neo Japan, and then II for 2, which is because it's the successor to the Shining Gundam. This one is JMF 1336R. I'm not sure what the 1336R or what 1336 is. R is probably for Rising, and then JMF is probably for Japanese Mobile Fighter. But it also has more practical weapons, it says, with this glaive instead of swords, and a beam bow instead of the God Gundam's mostly lack of ranged weaponry, as well as the fact that these can detach as a shield. This one is gonna go below Shining. I think I like Spiegel just a little bit more. Next is the Matador Gundam. Neo Spain's Gundam. His head kind of looks like Bumblebee now that I think about it. Yeah, his head kind of looks like G1 Bumblebee. Oh, man. I didn't even think of that. But it does. It totally does. In the English dub, this was changed from Matador Gundam to Toro Gundam, which also works really well. I hate this design. I'm going to be honest. I hate it. I don't really like anything about it. I think I'm going to put it... I don't know whether to put it below Mandala or not, but it doesn't really matter that much, so I'm going to put it right there. If I posted this on Reddit, I know people would complain about me not liking, like, odd designs and only liking typical designs. But I will not be posting this on Reddit. Next, this one was designed by a small child, so keep that in mind. Neo Malaysia, I believe. The Skull Gundam. I actually kind of like this one. The toes are a bit odd. I don't really like that. But it kind of gives me, like, monkey vibes because of the proportions. So I kind of like it. And the way that these big cables give it that, like, that appearance more similar to that bones is actually really ingenious. I'm surprised that this was a child designing this. When I say a child, I don't actually know the age, but I think I remember hearing that it was like 12. So this is, for that, considering that, this is a great design. Not considering that, it's a pretty good design. So I think I will give it. I think I actually like this better than the Gundam Versailles. I should have messed around with the images to make the top of the image like way higher so that they would be centered on the Gundam's head. I think I'll do that next time. Or just make them square. That's probably a better idea. Next time we'll do the Gundam Wing tier list. But this one, everybody loves this for some reason. I honestly have no idea, but it's the Tequila Gundam from Neo Mexico. In the English dub, this was changed to the Spike Gundam, because, you know, it has spikes. See? Spikes, spikes, spikes. I actually really don't hate this, though. The sombrero is a bit odd. Other than that, if you remove the sombrero and then made this shoulder and then these two, it would be and just in general, the head's a bit odd. But it would be a pretty good design. I actually do like the legs quite a bit. Also, I'm pretty sure if I put this in a low position, I would actually get burned at the stake. But next is the mobile fighter from Neo Turkey, the Minaret Gundam, which was changed in the English dub. This one has a slightly odd story. In the English dub, they called it the Scythe Gundam, and then in all other English materials, such as the Mobile Suit in Action figure box, it was called the Scimitar Gundam, which fits a lot better. I actually really like this one, especially the legs. This one actually, like, it does so well, like, having the image of the country's heritage, but also, like, being a good, serviceable design. I love this one. But where am I gonna put it? I think I will put this... I think I'll actually put it maybe even an S. I think I'll actually put it here. I think I like it a bit more than the Master. Huh, I wonder how Lucilia would feel about that, because she's from Turkey, but she hates Turkey. Anyway. By the way, I'm not biased because of that. I am just considering the design. I mean, clearly, because I'm from America, and I put their Ultimate Mobile Fighter all the way down here. Next is the Neros Gundam. Fun fact, there was a design that was supposedly a competitor in Italy's mobile suit design program called the Ferrari Gundam, which is bright red and has no weapons. It's an arm mobile suit that could use handheld weapons. This one instead has beam cannons on the legs, which is odd, and invokes the image of ancient Rome, with his name Neros Gundam, and this plume part being more prevalent. I actually like this one a decent amount. But where to put it? It also makes me think of pizza, which makes sense considering it's Neo-Italy. I think here, or maybe here. Yeah, here. That's a good place for it. No, maybe there. Yeah, that's better. Okay, the ultimate mobile weapon, the Nether Gundam. In the English dub, they changed this to Windmill Gundam. So this one has an interesting story in that it wasn't actually meant to fight and, you know, win. The whole purpose of it was to turn it... So it has a windmill mode, where it transforms into just a normal-looking windmill, and you can't even tell it's a Gundam at all. So their whole idea was that they would... the Netherlands, is that they knew they couldn't win, so they developed the Windmill Gundam, which the whole purpose was to hide, so that then it would never be defeated, and they would make it to the final Gundam fight. It was defeated on its first match, but it did make it to the final Gundam fight, which did increase the country's standing and gave them more political power. So for that, how ingenious the idea behind it from the creators was, and the fact that, how could you ever not love this design? This is clearly the peak of all mobile suit design. In fact, I've actually changed my mind. My favorite is not the red frame. My favorite is actually Windmill Gundam. Always was. I am being somewhat sarcastic, but I do actually like the design. Given that context. Without that context, I think I would probably put it here. So maybe I should put it there. Or maybe like there. But no, I will put it there because it does have that. Or maybe high C. Yeah, that's good. High C. Okay, next is the Pharaoh Gundam the Fourth, changed in the English dub to the Mummy Gundam the Fourth. This is the is Neo Egypt. The reason that it's the fourth is because there is actually a Mummy Gundam the 13th. In the anime, it was revived by Dark Gundam cells. In the third Gundam fight, he used the Pharaoh Gundam the Third to win, securing rule of outer space for Neo Egypt. And then, but then in the fourth Gundam fight, he was defeated in the finals by Sai Saishi's ancestor, giving him a hatred of Sai Saishi's bloodline. In the anime, he awoke and was resurrected by Dark Gundam cells. He wasn't just defeated; he was killed, I should say. There was a problem when he defeated the head. It caused an explosion in the cockpit. But it was revived along with the pilot by Dark Gundam cells. I mean, Devil Gundam cells. Dark Gundam cells in the English dub. But it was revived, and then you destroy the Pharaoh Gundam the 13th because it was strengthened by the Devil Gundam cells. But in the manga, he didn't kill the Gundam fighter for Neo Egypt. He was the Gundam fighter for Neo Egypt. In the manga, they knew that he was revived, and they made the Pharaoh Gundam the 13th for him, but he destroyed it with his Pharaoh Gundam the 4th instead. But this one, I'm not crazy about the design. There's just not that much going for it. I think I'll put it there. There's not really any reason for me to dislike it. There's just also not that much reason to like it. Wow. So next is the Grand Gundam. One of the 4 Heavenly Kings. The other 4 Heavenly Kings I've done so far is the Master Gundam. This one's interesting. It's got a lot of cannons. Or no, those aren't cannons, are they? I don't even remember what those are. But it's absolutely massive. I think the Shining Gundam is somewhere like that, up to that height on it. It's an interesting design. It sort of reminds me of something you might see in Macross. Maybe the Macross Plus era, or Macross 7. Like if there was Destroids in there that era, they might look something like this, I imagine. I do like it decently enough, but there's just not that much going for it, so I think I'm gonna put it at the bottom of B tier. Okay, next is the Gundam Head. I actually really like the Gundam Head design. It looks a lot like the ARC-78-2, but for this, fang part, which gives it a very snake-like appearance with the long, tendril that it is on the end of. And it, oh, my brain just died there for a second. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Don't clip that. Let's just pretend it didn't happen. Anyway, I really like this design a lot. It's not exactly a mobile suit, but I saw fit to include it anyway because I felt it was very memorable. I think I'm going to put this there. And then next is the Gundam Heaven's Sword, which in the English dub they changed to the Soaring Raven Gundam. That's right. They took a mobile suit, which is white, and named it after a bird which is known for being completely black. I don't know why they didn't make it say Soaring Eagle Gundam, or just anything other than Soaring Raven Gundam. But this is proof of that even though Hajime Katoki's redesigns of other mobile suits are really not my thing, and I think they kind of suck and are very unoriginal, his original mobile suit designs are quite good. I actually like the Gundam Heaven's Sword quite a bit. It's another of the 4 Heavenly Kings. And I like it more than the other one, but not more than anything else, really. Or not more than, you know, any of the others that I really like. Next is the ultimate mobile weapon, Hunsaiki. This horse-shaped mobile weapon. Now you might be wondering, what would this maybe be? Neo-Arabia? No. That would actually come to think of it, that would make a lot of sense because, you know, they're known for Arabian horses. Anyway, no. This is actually, it's sort of a support weapon for the Master Gundam, and it is piloted by an actual horse. That's right. It is piloted by a horse. It's not in this. I forgot to include it in the tier list, but in the manga, there was also a manga where Neo Australia's Gundam is the Jumping Gundam, which is piloted by an actual kangaroo. But yeah, I'm sort of getting some Tall Geese vibes from this, honestly. I mean, both were designed by Hajime Katoki, so it makes sense, but... Or, no, wait, was Tall Geese... Actually, no, they might have been both by... I think, I'm almost certain they have the same kind of designer. I just don't remember if it was Hajime Katoki or, Kuno Kawada. I'll have to look that up later. I'll tweet what it was. If I remember. I probably won't. I'll remember to look it up for sure. No, I'll make sure to remember to tweet it. But Hunsaiki, I actually, for what it is, I really like the design, but, you know, that's just for what it is. So I think I'll put him in B tier. You know what, actually? I think I'll upgrade Kowloon to A tier. Okay, next is the Murphy, the Mass Production Defense Mobile Suit of America. I love this design to death. It also transforms into a helicopter, and does a very good job of doing so. I love this so... I don't know how to explain how much I love this design, especially for something that comes from America. It just makes so much sense. I really like this design a lot. And in fact, I think... Do I put it in... I'll put it at the bottom of A tier for now, but I like it less than the Super Nobel Gundam and more than the Nobel Gundam. Okay, next is the Death Army. Now, I should note, I have only included the Death Army. There are other variants, such as the Death Beast, which has 4 legs and has a giant cannon. The Death Birdie, which can fly. The Death Diver, which can swim. And then also the Death Master, Death Dragon, and I think Death Maxter. I think actually there was the Death Master, Death Maxter, Death Dragon, Death Bolt, and Death Rose, which are all meant to mimic those mobile fighters to trick Domon. But I didn't include any of those because they're all so similar to the original. They're all based on the Death Army. I actually really like the Death Army's design. I should actually get his high grade, come to think of it. It's when I can, which is not now. He will go in A. Probably right there. Why did I open that one? I could open that one. Next is the Zeus Gundam Neo Greece. I don't like this design. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just don't like it. Too much going on. It's really weird. This would be perfect in a traditional super robot show. But even G Gundam, this just doesn't really fit into Gundam. I don't really like this very much at all. And we'll be putting it in D tier. The top of D tier. Come on. But D tier nonetheless. Next is the Devil Gundam, known in the English dub as the Dark Gundam. I actually really like this design a lot. I don't know why I don't have his high grade. Um, but I love the design to death. The only thing is the like feet are a little bit odd with those like painted toenails, but I do even that I do really like. Um, he's got that chin cock. But yeah, I really like this design a lot. It has a very distinct silhouette. It looks big and monstrous with that like very thin waist that you can't even see there, but it's like a thin snake-like waist. It looks very sinister, and it definitely goes in A tier. Even above the Death Army it made. In fact, I think I'll put it right there. In fact, I actually might even put it there. Or even there. Okay. Okay, next is the JMS-60 Bushi. Which also kind of sounds like Bussy, which is fucked up. But yeah, the Bushi. Very Zaku based. But it's got some interesting design elements like the like subtle curvature of the legs is great. The way the feet like blend into the design of the legs. The way that the rifle connects to the main body. I really like this design, and it gets A tier above even the Murphy. And next is another Neo Japan mass production mobile suit, the Nobushi. This might be my favorite gym-based mobile suit. Maybe. I love this design so much. I can't really explain why I love it so much, but I don't even know where to put this, honestly. I don't know if I want to put it in S tier or not, but I think I will. Yeah. Why not? And next is the Caching. Neo England's mass production mobile suit. This one I don't like nearly as much. The color scheme, it looks a bit toyish, honestly. There's a bit much going on. The rifle's interesting, but that's not enough to make me really love it. But I do think it still gets A tier. But the bottom of A. And then next is the Butler Ben Solomon. This one's very interesting. Very odd, too. It's controlled with a steering wheel, which is bizarre. I would love to give this thing really high, but I don't think I can really support giving it very much higher than here. This one, everybody seems to say is so odd, but is it really that odd? The Pescator. This is another mass production mobile suit. It's Neo Mexico's mass production mobile suit, which is aquatic. For an aquatic mobile suit, like, this makes just as much sense to me as, like, the GOG, or well, more sense than the GOG, but just as much as, like, there's a GOG, or the Goon from Seed. I actually like this design quite a bit. And will indeed be giving it A tier. Above the Kowloon Gundam. Right next to its mobile fighter. Okay, I think this is the last of the Heavenly Kings. The Walter Gundam. I think this is a very interesting and innovative design. Definitely very not normal. But I do actually like it. It's got some interesting Devil Gundam-like aspects. Like these cones are similar to what we see on the Devil Gundam. The head is sort of similar. It's also very similar to a Gundam head. The head is similar to the head of a Gundam head. That's a lot of head for one sentence. I think I'll give this A tier. Like, maybe there. Separated. Okay, next is the Mammoth Gundam. The Mammoth Gundam. This thing is giant. The Shining Gundam comes up to about there on it. It's massive. I do not remember whose mobile fighter this is. I think it was Neo Siberia, maybe. Anyway, I don't like this, honestly. Like, it's so stupid. Like, why? Why? Why does it? Why? Just why? It's interesting how they made the Gundam face in a mammoth, but I don't know. Maybe I'm turned off by it crushing my gunpla to bits in Gundam Breaker 2 a lot and being very annoying to deal with. But I'm gonna have to give this D tier. Okay, next. This is more we didn't get in the anime. This is the Maxter when it was infected by Dark Gundam cells. I mean, Devil Gundam cells. In the anime, it looked exactly alike. Like, its appearance did not change whatsoever. But in the manga, it had this evil and fucked up appearance. I really like the, like, eye on the shoulder here and the fist. It makes the Devil Gundam infected Maxter look so much more, like, unnatural and fucked up and menacing. And I really, really like it. I realized that they didn't include it in the anime just because, first of all, it would be harder to animate, and they didn't think of it because the manga came out after. But if they were to like make like a remaster of the anime, sort of the Gundam Seed remaster, I would love for them to include this. In fact, I like it better than the original. Actually, I could probably be like there. And then next is the same, but the Gundam Rose. Once again, it looks like very evil and demonic and fucked up. But you can definitely still tell it's the Rose, and I think that's great. Do I like this more than the original Rose? No. I think I like it less than the Dragon Gundam. But I'm going to put it there. And then next is the same thing, but the Dragon Gundam. I especially love this like head. It looks almost skeletal, and it looks like these designs are so good. I love them. The only thing that's a bit really weird on this is the like this wall, which I assume is for the Great Wall of China. I don't like that. So I will be putting it probably here, but once again, I love these designs. Actually, I think I'll put it there. Okay. And the Bolt Gundam. This one I actually like better than the original Bolt. It looks very large and intimidating. Like, you see this, you start crying and running. That's what you should do. It's got even more cables. It does not have the cable on the foot that I really like in the original. But I will be giving this probably right there. And then next is the Shuffle Club. Certain aspects of this I really like. Like, this part's really weird. This part's weird. This ring is really weird. But the head I actually really like. It looks like something from Armored Core. The legs are also pretty good. Yeah, I really like it. And in the manga, after the events of the show, it shows, who was the club? I forget. Let's see. Come on. Just tell me. I don't remember. Okay, that's not gonna tell me. Okay, let's see. Hang on, I can look at my model kits of them because they come with little... I'll be right back in a second. Okay, Saisaishi. Sorry about that. In the... Saisaishi pile is a version of this that has the Dragon Gundam's head at the end of the manga. So I will be giving this B tier, but a very high B tier. And then next, the Shuffled Diamond. I really, really like the legs. The arm's pretty good too. Once again, like the head's a bit odd, and these parts here are a bit odd, but Chibody Crockett would, in the manga piloted version of this, that had the Maxter Gundam's head. Or was it Chibody? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it definitely was. I'll put it above the club, but below most everything else. And then next is the Shuffle Heart. This, actually, the only animated appearance this has had was in Gundam Build Fighters, but it is similar in appearance and design to the to the Master Gundam, and it was originally piloted by Master Asia. Let's see. Where do I put this? I don't like it as much as those ones, though. Probably, yeah. There. Next is the Shuffle Joker. Wait a second. If I put that there... Oh, if I put that there, you guys can't even see the... Okay, let me make this a bit wider. There. Let me see if I make that just a bit. There we go. Okay. Anyway, the Shuffle Joker would later, so a version of this with the Bolt Gundam's head would be piloted by Arko Golski. There's actually a lot of aspects about this I really like, especially like the arms and the general shape of the legs. This part's a bit odd, but I do really like this. It's mostly this that just makes it a bit weird, and I could like it a lot more other than that, but it's still quite good. And now we'll put it there. And then last is the Shuffle Spade. A version of this would be piloted by George Descend, but once again with the Rose Gundam's head at the end. This one I also like decently well, but the main part that I really like is the hands and the faceplate. Other than that, there's not that much, so I think I will be giving it the lowest rating out of all but the heart. Now, let's see if there's any adjustments I want to make. Hmm. Let's see. Do I want to put him up into S? No, let's keep him in A. I want to put him down into C. Maybe him as well. Do I want him in C though? No. But I don't think I'm going to put this as high. This actually can go in the bottom of C. Skull Gundam 2, I think... Well, no, he's about perfect where he is. Well, actually, I should put him there, or maybe even there. Is this good? I think this is good. Made it. Ellie, you're right at the end. Hey, at least you can make it. At least you can make it at all. Um, I don't put the mammoth even lower. Let's see. Any other adjustments? Hmm. Yeah, I think this is probably good. Oh, no, never mind. Wait. Okay. My brain remembered something, but then I remembered that I didn't need to remember it because it didn't actually happen. It was just gonna happen, but then it didn't. Anyway, yeah, this is a pretty definitive tier list, especially since I did include some lesser known ones, um, like the fucked up evil infected Gundams. Um, or the strange upgraded Gundams. I should mention that for my uh, viewers in the Philippines, such as Aki and Ellie, the Philippines do not have a known entry into the Gundam fight. So either their entry into the Gundam fight got defeated early on, or what I think is more likely is they probably didn't enter the Gundam fight at all. Since when you think about it, the two reasons for the Gundam fight are political power and whoever wins. So whoever scores higher gets better political power, and whoever wins, it gets to control all of outer space for the next 4 years. However, when you think about it, like, if you know you're not going to do well, like, there's no reason to enter. So first of all, you have to build a top-of-the-line mobile suit, a Gundam, which is a pretty significant financial drain on your country, which especially since the Philippines is not a very large nation. And then also, you have a possibility of getting your standing taken down even lower than if you just didn't enter at all. So for a small country like the Philippines, obviously it's not like stupidly small, but it might be better just to not enter the Gundam fight at all. So that either the Filipino Gundam got destroyed early on, or more likely they did not enter at all. Because I did look out of curiosity, since I obviously, you know, the most important person to me out of all people is in the Philippines, and also a decent amount of my viewership. Apparently about half of my viewers are from the Philippines. I think it's something like 42% of my viewers are from the Philippines, with the only place that there are more people viewing me is in the United States. So I did look, but no. There's a fan-made design, but can't really include this. There are also some designs I didn't really include, like the Ashura Gundam, just because it didn't really... I forgot it existed until I was downloading the images for this. It was not very notable at all, and I don't really like it anyway, so I didn't bother including it. Or the Pharaoh Gundam, the 13th, that existed for like 2 seconds on stream before it was defeated by the Pharaoh Gundam, the 4th. And it's also a pretty similar design to the Pharaoh Gundam, the 4th, so I did not bother. But I would say this is I've got most of my bases covered pretty well. This has a pretty good spread. I'd say this is a good tier list. But yeah, so I'm gonna end off the stream now. I should have had my BGM on, probably. That would have made more sense. So you guys wouldn't have to be sitting here just silence with just me, myself, and my voice. Yeah, I'll end off the stream here. Tomorrow's stream is... Let me double check. I might be offline tomorrow, but I think tomorrow's stream is Doom. Let me just... Where is it? Let's see. Yes, tomorrow's stream is the original 1993 Doom. I'm gonna try and get through all of chapter 4. There's a surprise, a special surprise, waiting at the Spider Mastermind boss battle in E3M8. But yeah, I'll try and get through all of E3. And then I can try to get through all of E4 on the next Doom stream. And then we'll be all done with the original Doom. But yeah. Yeah, try and be there if you can. And thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.